This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. In the previous sessions, we had different topic discussion, different practical point understanding with respect to SAP FICO as a consultant. Now let us try to understand few more additional points which we need to understand before we get in. Okay, those who are not talking, please go on mute. All right. Now, first point that we need to look at here is assuming we are SAP FICO consultant. First point that you need to understand is you are SAP FICO consultant. The moment you assume yourself as a FICO consultant, the way you should think should be different. In short, do not be with a mindset that I am currently learning SAP FICO. My course will take 3 months, my course will take 4 months. After completing my course, after practicing, after attending interviews, after getting a job, then only I will assume myself as a consultant. Things will not work. Right from the beginning, the way you think, the way you look at the system, the way you talk, the way you listen to the system should be exactly the same like a FICO consultant is looking at the system. There should be no deviation, there should be no change, there should be no difference. Now, assuming that we are all SAP FICO consultant, now as we discussed earlier, when anybody is talking about SAP FICO, the first point that strikes our mind is what? As a FICO consultant, we do what? Configurations. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, Ajay.
As a FICO consultant, we do configurations in SAP. What is this configuration? How we do it? Different story. First, we need to understand we are all FICO consultant, and as a FICO consultant, we do configuration in SAP. Now, first point, when you're talking about configuration and you're talking about SAP, you need to understand where we do configurations. When we're talking about where we do configurations, if the answer is SAP, you're correct, but not completely correct. Because where we do configuration, since you're a FICO consultant in SAP, you will do configuration in SAP itself. But within SAP, you have different clients. Within SAP, you have different landscape. Then you need to understand SAP system landscape. When we're talking about SAP system landscape or system landscape, you're basically talking about three system landscape. And when you're talking about three system landscape, you're talking about one is development, two is quality, and three is production. First point, we are talking about config. The moment config is coming in your mind as a FICO consultant, which we will do in any project, immediately you should know that when you do a config, where do you do the config? Where are we going to do the config? In the SAP system. Now within the SAP system, where exactly? Because you have three system landscape in SAP. One is a development, two is a quality, three is production. Where exactly we do configurations?
Development.
We will do
Development.
configurations in development. This is where you will do the config. This is where we will do the config. And everybody is aware that to do the configurations, you have to log into SAP. When we say to do the config, you'll have to log into SAP. We need to log in to SAP. When we're talking about we need to log into SAP, you have two options. We have two options to log into SAP. Option number one, SAP GUI log on. Option number 2, SAP what? Fiori.
Yes.
One, you need to log into SAP GUI. Two, you need to log into SAP Fiori. Now, if you are talking about SAP GUI logon, this is how you will find an icon. Do you find SAP logon icon here on my desktop where my cursor is currently located?
Yes, Ajay.
Yes, sir.
Right? This is logon to the SAP GUI, which is a desktop icon. And in SAP, you have 2 points. One is your SAP ECC, other one is SAP S/4HANA system. One is
Correct.
your SAP ECC. Second one is SAP S/4HANA system. Now, in ECC, you will have SAP logon pad. In S/4HANA system, you will have SAP logon pad. But in S/4HANA system, only for on-premise version, only for private cloud version, you will have SAP logon pad. For public cloud, you will not have SAP logon pad. For public cloud, it is purely your Fiori. Similarly, for private cloud or for on-premise, you will still have SAP Fiori. In short, SAP S/4HANA system will have SAP Fiori. SAP ECC system will have SAP GUI only. When I am talking about SAP logon pad, this is what I am looking at. Now on my SAP logon pad, how many connections I have? Only one, or there are multiple?
Multiple.
Multiple.
There are multiple lines here, right? Each line is referring to a connection. Each line is referring to a connection. For example, if I try to, let's say, now how many lines I have?
Only one.
Only
Only
one.
one.
CCO.
Only one. Whatever it is, there's only one connection here. Now remember, strictly remember, when you are learning SAP, when you're practicing SAP, majoritarily we all look at only one connection on our SAP logon pad. Right?
That's
You have
correct.
only one client, you have only one server. And if you are practicing SAP for 3 months, 6 months, 2 months, 1 year, or whatsoever, whenever you log into or whenever you open this SAP logon pad, you will find only one connection. You will double click on it. You will put your user ID, you will put your password, you will log in into SAP. Is this correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Since this is becoming a daily routine, since this is becoming a habit for you to do it on a daily basis whenever you want to practice SAP, this is what you need to do. Am I right? Point number 1, come here, look at the SAP logon pad. Point number 2, double click on the connection. Point number 3, put ID, password, and then start your practicing. Whether you do a config, whether you do a posting, report, whatsoever, it is a regular practice on a daily basis for next couple of months. Am I right? In short, until you get job.
Yes, that's right.
Even after getting a job, it is same process again.
Yes.
Even after getting the job, it is the same process again. But whatever you do on a daily basis, over a period of time, it becomes a habit. Over a period of time, maybe after a week, after 1 month, after 2 months, it becomes a habit, meaning blindly things will get registered in your mind. When you're looking at SAP, you feel that there should be only one connection. I will double click, put ID, password, log into SAP. But we are writing some point here. To log in into SAP, you have two options. Option number 1, GUI. Option number 2, Fiori. Option number 1, GUI. Option number 2 is Fiori. Now here, I am talking about SAP GUI initially. In GUI or in Fiori, whatever we talk, we have how many system landscape? 1 or 2 or 3? In your SAP landscape, how many systems are there? Is it 1 or is it
System.
3?
Three.
Three.
3 system. Each point is referring to a separate connection. When I say each point is referring to a separate connection, when you're looking at SAP logon pad, you must find separate connection to log into development system, separate connection to log into quality system, separate connection to log into production. If you're not looking at SAP logon pad like this, the way you're looking at SAP logon pad itself is incorrect than the real environment. In the real system, you will never have one client or one connection here. Strictly 3 connections: development, quality, production. Whenever you look at SAP logon pad, it should strictly strike your mind, yes, I am going to have 3 connections. Now in the project, what you are going to do, you will work for a specific client or you will work randomly for anything when you join a company.
Specific client.
When you join a company, you will be working for a specific client. In short, for a specific project. For example, I am working as a FICO consultant, let's say in Deloitte or in Infosys, in IBM, in Wipro, in any company. Assuming I am working for a client called Pepsi. Through any company, I am working for a client Pepsi, or I'm allocated or I'm allotted to Pepsi project. Possible or not? Can I say that I am currently working for Pepsi project, Pepsi support project, Pepsi rollout project, Pepsi implementation project, Pepsi migration project? This is what, or this is how you will be talking, you will be telling to anybody. Now, when I'm working for Pepsi, I need to log into Pepsi system, Pepsi SAP system. To log into Pepsi SAP system, do I find only one connection called Pepsi SAP or 3 client connections for Pepsi?
Three
client
clients.
connection
One
for
is for
Pepsi.
It
development,
should
one
be
is
3.
for quality production.
Pepsi development, Pepsi quality, Pepsi production. Am I right?
Yes.
Alright. Now, if I
Yeah.
click on my connections, you'll have to find like this. In this example, I have listed something called Apple. Assuming if I'm working for Apple project, I must find on my SAP logon pad Apple development, Apple production, Apple quality. Only then the way I'm looking at SAP logon pad is correct. Otherwise, my way of looking at SAP logon pad itself is incorrect. Because this way you will not find anywhere. And everybody wants to learn real-time SAP FICO. I want to know the system in such a way that it is exactly same in a project. Is that the expectation?
Yes.
We all say that, we all think that, no, I want to learn SAP FICO real-time, practically I want to know. But this is what we are looking at. We are not even in a position to understand that in any real environment, there will be no single connection. For every project, for every client, there will be minimum 3 connections: development, quality, production. Development, quality, production, there will be 3 connections. You need to ensure, and you also make sure you are not blindly working for any client. You will be specifically allocated to a particular client project.
Yes.
When you're allocated to a particular client, particular project, that's where you're talking about you're filling timesheet to get the client billing. Okay, this you will understand as we move forward.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
if you want to log into the system, you need to make sure you will put your ID password. Now, here you need to ensure you will create 3 connection details. Now, not blindly development, not blindly production, not blindly quality. Initially, you take any client, because when you're starting to do your practice, everybody will create company code and then do the practice. Is that right?
No, sir.
When you start your practice, you'll have to create a company code first, meaning you'll have to create a company first. And then for that company, you need to continue your practice. In short, the way you practice SAP should be in a systematic manner. Just like that, I create any entry in SAP. you will have no entry registered in your mind. Now you need to have a clarity. When I am doing my practice, what company I am going to create. Accordingly, you put your connection detail. For example, when I am going to do a practice for Apple, assuming that I am going to prepare for SAP FICO, I will do all my configuration practice understanding for Apple project. Create 3 connections with Apple development, Apple quality, Apple production. Similarly, you understand, okay, I am also doing practice for, let's say, Pepsi project, Pepsi company. Create 3 more connection: Pepsi development, Pepsi quality, Pepsi production. Meaning, when you look at SAP logon pad, do not have any kind of a confusion. Because when you join a project tomorrow, day 1, you will be given these connection properties. Day 1, you will be given this connection details. Am I correct? Somebody will tell, I'll share the connection details, you can please log in. And no IT person will come to your system, no colleague will come to your system to set up this in your system. They will only tell, sometimes they will share the screenshot of the connection property, sometimes they will write connection details and all, sometimes they will tell, okay, add, I will tell 12.14.6.2, system ID 00, instance number 12, like that. And do we need to understand what are they referring to or not? This might find a little technical, but yes, no other option, you have to know. No other option, no excuses here. If you are not even clear on how to log into SAP, forget about learning SAP FICO. Am I correct? You should have clarity
Yes,
on
sir.
how to log into a system, what points, what parameters we need to remember while logging into the system. It is not okay if we feel that, okay, let me log in first, all these things I will see later on. There is nothing to see later on. By the time you see the later on, your mind is fully equipped with SAP logon means only one connection will be there. Double click on it, put ID, put password. That will not work. First time you need to ensure right content you are injecting in your mind. Later on, when you look at anything, you have a clarity. Okay, I know this is not right way of doing. For shortcut purpose, for quick practice purpose, I'm doing it. You need to have clarity, clarification, justification to yourself. You don't need to tell anybody, you don't need to justify, you don't need to convince anyone. Make sure you are able to justify yourself, you are able to convince yourself. Yes, this is what I'm doing. I know this is not exactly how we do it in a project. For the practice purpose, to do it quickly, I'm doing like this. You need to have a clarity. If this clarity is not there, whatever we do or whatever you do is of no use. Now, if I want to log into the system, there are 2 ways. Point number 1, through SAP GUI, which is this. Point number 2, through SAP Fiori. If I want to log into SAP, let's say I'll click on any system. As I said, for every client, you have a client number. This is a 3-digit numeric number for every client. For development, for quality, for production, you will have client numbers, and this will be decided and provided to you by the basis consultant. Put your ID. I am giving my user ID, and then put your password. Okay, press enter. When you put your user ID, when you put your password, you are landing on SAP screen. You logged into SAP. What screen you are able to see currently? Heading of this is SAP Easy Access.
SAP Easy Access.
Now this SAP Easy Access is basically end user screen. This SAP Easy Access is basically end user screen. In short, the moment you log in into SAP, you are getting end user activity. The moment we log in into SAP, we are getting end user screen. There was another way which I told to log in. What is the other way of logging into SAP? One is your GUI, other one?
Fiori.
Fiori.
Another one is Fiori. If I click on this Fiori Launchpad, we will see. This is your Fury screen. One is your SAP GUI, the other one is SAP Fury. Now, when you go to the market, everybody talks about S4 HANA system, right? Everybody talks
Yeah.
about public cloud, private cloud, rise with SAP, grow with SAP, different points they will be using, different terminology they will be using. At the end, you are logging into either GUI or Fury
Fury.
application like this, depending on the client. When I say depending on the client, if your client is working on ECC environment, there will be no Fury. If your client is working on S4 HANA environment, there will be Fury. Meaning, when you get a job, in which project you will be allocated, you're not having any idea or you have no clue. Depending on the requirement, you may be allotted to any project. Am I correct? Depending on the requirement, you may be mapped to any project. You may be assigned to a project where client is working on ECC. You may be mapped to a project where client is working on S4 HANA system. In S4 HANA, it may be a public cloud. In S4 HANA, it may be a private cloud. In short, let it be anything. At the end, it is all SAP FICO. Everything is SAP only,
Yes.
whether it is ECC, whether it is S4 HANA, public cloud, S4 HANA private cloud, S4 HANA on-premise. It's all SAP FICO only. Business process, logic, concept, everything remains the same, except minor changes. When you're talking about ECC, everything you have to do on your own. When you're coming into S4 HANA system, in S4 HANA system, things are simplified from ECC. Am I right?
Yes, sir. The change is.
When you move from ECC to S4 HANA system, many things are simplified. Meaning, things are easier in S4 HANA or things are difficult in S4 HANA.
It's easy.
Things are easier in S4 HANA system when you compare to ECC because it is latest, it is advanced. Latest functionalities, latest technology, latest tools, techniques are applied in S4 HANA system. Same thing like you're using a mobile phone Android now and you're using mobile phone, the older version. You will find the difference, right? The speed, performance, user interface, everything is different, though it is of the same brand. But key functionalities will remain the same. Am I right? You may be looking at a new icon, new themes, new feature, but the core functionality of your mobile phone will remain the same. Similarly, even in SAP also, key functionalities, key logic process will remain the same. Based on the latest versions of SAP, things are simplified. When things are simplified, is it difficult to understand or is it easy to understand?
Easy to understand.
Easy.
When things are simplified, it's easy to understand. When we know that things are getting simplified and you need to ensure things are easy to understand, provided you have strong base fundamental knowledge. When you have strong basic fundamental knowledge, basic fundamental logical understanding, anything that is coming in SAP, you can do it. Otherwise, you will continue learning SAP FICO for years together. Today, somebody will tell ECC, somebody will tell S4, somebody will tell cloud, somebody will tell on-premise and all. What and all you will learn? You will be in a position where should I learn ECC? Should I learn S4 HANA? Should I learn public cloud? Should I learn private cloud? Should I learn on-premise? Whether I should learn SAP or not? Because everybody is telling different points. Am I right? And you need to ensure the basic fundamental concept you need to understand with which anything that is coming in the market from SAP side. SAP will tell these are the functionalities of it, this is how it will work. And you will have simplification list. You will have manuals, test cases, everything provided by SAP. All you need is with your understanding, with your knowledge, you are in a position to understand the latest technology given by SAP, current functionality depending on your project. Then you need to move forward. Meaning, initially when you are learning, you need to learn core concept of SAP FICO with which on any version of SAP you are in a position to work in any project. Meaning when you are learning, you should have a clear clarity what is going to be my project when I get a job, Is there any guarantee that you will be working only on ECC project? Is there any guarantee?
No guarantee.
No, Ajay.
No. When you get a job, is there any guarantee you will be working on S/4HANA public cloud? You will be working on S/4HANA private cloud? You will be working on S/4HANA on-premise? No, right? Depending on the project. Let's say with the moment you join, you may be working on SAP ECC project for 6 months, for 1 year. Once that project is over, you may be shifted to another project, another client where your client is working on ECC. From S/4HANA system, you are now coming down to SAP ECC project. From ECC, you may work on some other project. Depending on the client, depending on the project, make sure you are in a position to mold yourself, understand everything to be done by yourself. You cannot say, you cannot give any excuses. I know SAP FICO, I'm a FICO consultant, but unfortunately, I do not know ECC. I do not know S/4HANA public cloud. I do not know S/4HANA private cloud. I do not know S/4HANA on-premise. Nobody will accept. Because when you know SAP FICO, make sure with your SAP FICO knowledge, you are in a position to work on any environment, ECC, public cloud, private cloud, on-premise. Because core concept logic will remain the same. Minor changes with which you can easily manage. Ensure that level of knowledge, that level of confidence, understanding you will build right from the beginning. Here, if I try to log in, same thing, same ID, same password.
Sir, I have one question. Hello.
Yeah.
In order to log in into S4 HANA, this interface, do we have to log in through SAP GUI every time, or it is
No, no.
separate?
Directly you can log in here also. What you need is you need to copy this URL, add it as a favorite, as it as a bookmark.
Okay.
We are all aware how to add this as a bookmark, right? Favorites on your Chrome browser.
Yep.
Yes.
I did not bookmark
Yes.
it, so I'm coming from GUI. Else what you can do is on your browser, whatever you're using, your Microsoft Edge or your Chrome, whatever, just add a favorite, add it as a bookmark. You can click on that, directly you will come to logon page. Now this screen that I'm looking at now, this is also end user screen. Okay, these are all called as Fiori applications. These are all called as Fiori tiles. These are Fiori applications, or these are Fiori tiles that we are talking about. Both you need to understand, on both you need to have clarity, confidence, so that tomorrow when you get a job, when you're working in any project, no matter what kind of a project it is, you have to be comfortable, you have to be confident. That's the whole objective of your training. That's the whole objective of your learning. After completing a training, after completing a preparation and all, when you join a project, you should not be blank. This is completely Fiori, I do not know Fiori and all, nothing to be there. When you're working on Fiori, things are even more simplified. Half of the points are suggested by system itself. Half of the points are suggested by system itself, meaning you don't need to do any additional effort. Your efforts are simplified, your efforts are minimized. Provided you are understanding things in a logical manner. Then with minimal effort, you'll be able to understand so many things. This is Fiori, and then this is your GUI. Both you need to understand. Okay, this is how basically we log into SAP. Once you're inside SAP, you need to make sure, what am I doing now? When I say what am I doing now, in SAP, as we discussed, the moment you log in, you're getting end user area, end user screen. You will also have consulting area, consulting screen, in which you will do the configuration. To do the configuration, we basically use SPROT code, and here SAP reference IMG. When we see this SPRO screen, SAP reference IMG, you are able to understand that there is a different point. It's a different screen completely now.
Yes, Ajay.
And here you will find financial accounting. Here you will find controlling. Meaning, financial accounting is all related to FI module. Controlling is all related to CO module. Since you are going to learn SAP FICO, you need to understand the functionalities of financial accounting, functionalities of controlling. In short, cost accounting, management accounting, cost and management accounting from your academic point of view. If I open another screen, show this ECC now, not ECC. Now in the end user area, easy access, here also you will find accounting.
Yes.
Right, if I open the accounting, I have financial accounting and I also have controlling. There are so many other points, but we are referring to only FICO module. So we are talking about financial accounting and controlling. Now those who say that I do not know accounting, I'm not from accounting background, can I learn SAP FICO? Will I be able to understand FICO? Yes, you can do it, because you are not becoming an end user, right? You're not become an end user, you're becoming a consultant. For consultant, you don't need to know in detailed, in-depth accounting. If you're able to understand the basic fundamentals of accounting, it is sufficient, which we will be understanding in this course. Here, you will be understanding right from what is debit, what is credit, journal entries, accounting rules. From there, we will start our learning. Your training, your learning, your journey begins from basics of a fundamental accounting called what is debit, what is credit. From there, you will start understanding FICO. Because straight away you can see SAP is also telling it is part of your accounting. Yes or no?
Yes.
SAP clearly classified this under accounting. Go to accounting. Under accounting, you have financial accounting. Inside the financial accounting, you have general ledger, GL, accounts receivable, AR, accounts payable, AP. Contract, we will leave it because this is part of your FICA, FICA. You have contract payable, contract receivable. Basically, this is another module called FICA. The way you have FICO, in the similar way, we have something called FICA. This is FICA, not related to us. Banking you have, and then you have fixed asset. Below points, we don't do it. We don't use it in FICO. In short, you will be using GL, AP, AR, bank, and then fixed asset. How many submodules are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, only 5. Right? And if you go to controlling, in controlling, you have cost element accounting, cost center accounting, internal order, activity based costing, product costing, profitability analysis, and then profit center accounting. Out of these many points, where do you have accounting listed? Cost element accounting, cost center accounting, profit center
Profit center
accounting.
account.
There are 3 places where there is accounting, meaning to do the financial accounting. When I say to do the financial accounting, in financial accounting, what we do, we pass debit and credit journal entry. Am I right? In financial accounting, first point what we do is we write debit credit journal entry. Is this correct or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct, sir.
To record debit credit journal entry, from the controlling module, you must require cost element accounting, cost center accounting, profit center accounting. Without these 3, you cannot do accounting entry, debit credit journal entry in SAP FICO. So you cannot say I know only FI, I'm a pure FI. You cannot say. There is no pure FI. That is why everybody calls it as FICO consultant and people call it as CO consultant. Why FICO? Because accounting entry is not possible without these points from CO. Am I right? And you also need to include, you can also include internal order. You can also include internal order also as part of your accounting only. How many are left over if I exclude these accounting related, including internal order?
3.
You have product cost, you have product cost controlling, you have profitability analysis, and then activity based costing. In short, we segregate this into 2 categorization. One is product costing, another one is COPA, profitability analysis or margin analysis. Tomorrow when you go to the market, you may be hearing from the people, do you know CO? Can you work on CO? Anybody heard? People asking, can you work on CO? Do you know CO? Controlling module.
Yes, sir.
When somebody is asking about CO, controlling module, strictly remember, they are only referring to these 2 points. Product costing, COPA. Only these two are part of your CO. The rest and all is part of your FI. In short, FICO. You can say you can work on controlling, you can work on CO only if you feel comfortable on product costing COPA. If these two are not clear, you are not good at CO. That's it, straightforward. Because rest and all is mandatory for a FICO consultant. I cannot say in CO I can handle cost element, cost center and all. Not acceptable. When you say CO, you should strictly refer to product costing and COPA. Okay, basically these are the points from the user point of view. Same points if you come to consultant screen, in short, SPRO screen. If I go to financial accounting, in financial accounting, you will find same setting. General ledger, financial accounting, global setting, accounts receivable, payable, bank accounting, and then your asset accounting. Similarly, when you come down to controlling, same thing you will find general controlling, cost center, internal order, activity based, product costing, profitability analysis, profit center. Meaning whatever end user functionalities are there, for every functionality there is a relevant configuration, there is a relevant setting. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Meaning for
Yes, sir.
every functionality to work, to enable every functionality, we need to make sure the appropriate relevant configuration is maintained. Meaning here we need to understand 2 points. Data flow in SAP FICO. When we say data flow, how data is flowing in SAP FICO, we need to have a clarity. We are all aware that in SAP FICO as a consultant, what we do, configuration. But is configuration starting point in FICO or it is not a starting point?
Yes, sir. It's starting point.
Starting.
It
Global
is
set.
not a starting point. First, what I'll do, I'll put business requirement. Second one, I will write configuration. Third one, I will put master data. Fourth one, I'll put transaction data. Fifth one, I'll put reports. Sixth one, I'll put support. And this is support and improvement. This is a continuous cycle. As long as you're working in SAP, this is what you will do as a FICO consultant. No matter where you are, no matter in which company, in which country, in which project you are, this is what you're doing on a daily basis throughout your SAP FICO career. Here we are all talking about config. Is config first point?
No.
Is this the first point? Configuration
sir.
is not independent. Configuration is strictly dependent on what?
Business
Business
requirements.
requirement.
Business requirement.
Business requirement. When you do not know the business requirement, you cannot do the config. When you do not know the business requirement, you cannot do the config. Business requirement means business process. And we understood business process for all the companies are same, or business process will change from company to company.
Will change to
will
company.
change.
Business process will change from company to company. When we know it is changing from company to company, we need to ensure how are we going to understand this business process. Who will tell the business process? Because configuration is what you understand, configuration is what we understand, everybody understands, which is okay. But on what basis you will do the config? You need to get the requirement, right? Client will give business requirement. Client is nothing but the person who is going to use the SAP. Client is nothing
Yes,
but
sir.
the company who is purchasing SAP, is the company who is going to use SAP for their day-to-day transaction posting, day-to-day reporting. Now here, one point, SAP FICO is not ready to use application. Let us specifically relate every point to FICO so that we will not have any deviation. If we talk things in a generalized way, we will think that okay, in general it works like this. Nobody will ask, nobody will expect you to know general things in SAP. Everybody wants you to know things with respect to FICO. You also try to understand points related to FICO first. Later on, automatically you will get to know all other points. Now, is your SAP FICO ready to use application or not ready to use application?
Ready to use.
It's not ready to use. This is not ready to use application. Is the statement correct? Is this correct or not?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. It's correct.
Your SAP FICO is not ready to application. Unlike your Tally other applications, you can simply install, set up, next, install. You can start using on it. It is not like that. It is something that you'll have to build from the base depending on your client or depending on your business requirement. That's where in the data flow of SAP FICO, first point, we have strictly listed business requirement. Based on the requirement, you have to do the config. It is not okay, I know SAP FICO configuration, put me in any project, I will work. You cannot do anything because without knowing the business requirement, can we do anything?
No.
Without knowing the business requirement, we cannot do anything, no matter what is your level of experience, what is your level of practice, preparation and all, you cannot do anything without the requirement. Because you're not working on your system, you're working on somebody else's system. Is that right?
Yes, client.
You're not working on your own SAP system to do whatever you want. You'll have to do things whatever your client wants. And your client is not aware how the system works. What are the functionalities? What are the features? Whether it is okay, not okay to do it. Your client is not aware. That is the reason they appointed a consultant, which is you and me. Is that true? You need to ensure you will understand your client business requirement, their business process, understand their business process, accordingly set up the system. Now to do the config, straightforward configuration will never work in any project in the entire world. When you know in the entire world, your straight configuration will not work, don't focus on it blindly. Understand your configuration based on the requirement. If you know the requirement, config comes automatically. Because when you have a requirement clear in your mind, you don't need to ask anybody whether it is right or wrong. You are self sufficient to validate what you're doing is right or wrong. Am I correct? If I know this is my requirement and I am sufficient to judge whether my requirement is fulfilled or not. If I do not have a requirement, I will do, but I do not know whether it is right or wrong. And make sure you are self dependent to ensure what you are doing is right or wrong. But with a question mark, with a dilemma, with a doubtfulness, don't do any practice in SAP. Don't even get into FICO configuration and all. Later on, it creates unnecessary problem. I'm good at doing all this kind of thing. I'm able to do everything, but I don't know why I'm doing it. I did this, it worked, everything is okay, but if you ask me, I do not know why. I created, okay, I followed a document, I followed XYZ stuff, but I did it. Everything worked fine. But if you ask me to explain why I did what I did, sorry, I cannot do it. I did it without any mistake. I did it 2-3 times. But the same thing, if your friend is doing, if your friend is stuck somewhere in the same process, if you are not in a position to understand their error, their problem, you are not able to solve their problem, is our practice going to be helpful?
No.
Yes, no, no. Meaning you should at least be in a position to guess what could be the reason, right? What could be the problem? You should at least know the basic fundamentals to check. And these points you'll have to validate, you'll have to ensure you're keeping in mind right from the beginning, so that you're in a position to track what you're learning, whether you're understanding things in a systematic manner or not, so that tomorrow when you join a project, tomorrow when you join a company, you can perform. Otherwise, it is completely different. The way you understood, the way you practiced, the way you prepared is in way number one. The way you see the system after getting a job is way number two. One and two are completely different. It has to be similar, it has to be same wherever possible. Then only you feel comfortable, then only you feel confident after getting a job. Otherwise, after getting job, you will start getting fear, you will start getting scared, you will feel, I'm not sure if I can manage or not. They're asking me so many things, they're asking me to prepare this, work on that, I don't even know what are all this. These kind of a situation you should not get once you get a job. Let it be anything. I want you to be comfortable, confident enough to handle the things. That confidence, that knowledge is what you'll have to gain. Only for that purpose you're getting it trained, not for configuration understanding, not for configuration learning. Because when you're keeping these points in your mind, you'll understand, okay, this is what I need to understand. Else, we feel that, okay, this config is there, okay, recording is with me, okay, steps are there, T code is there, enough. Let me do it leisurely when I get time. Nothing will happen with that. Nothing will happen with that. If anybody is with that mindset, it is better you drop from SAP FICO at this moment only, so that you will save your money, you will save your time. Else things will not work. Because you'll have to be practical, I also have to be practical. Things whatever are possible, I will tell this is how it will work. If it is not possible, I will tell it is not possible. Don't assume that I'm joining Ajay, he will make me a consultant. I cannot do any magic to make you a consultant. All I can do is I can tell you the points that you will do as a consultant. I will tell you the way how you need to follow. It is dependent on you whether you are following properly or not. And also you need to make sure you will thoroughly verify whatever you are learning, whatever you are understanding with your friends, with your circle who are working in FICO as consultant. This is very, very important. The reason why this is important is tomorrow after completing your course, what you will look for? You will look for a job. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow after completing the course, you will look for SAP FICO job. When you're looking for SAP FICO job, you need to understand what are the roles that a consultant does, where the opportunities are there. It is all important. What majoritarily we will do, we will focus only on SAP FICO. When I say we will focus only on SAP FICO, only on the configuration kind of a stuff. Once we complete the training, once we complete the course, we typically try to get into the market, preparing a resume, different kind of a thing. At this moment, you have nobody with you. When I say you have nobody with you, your course may be completed, right? Half of the things may be forgotten, half of the things are clear, half of the things are not clear. Whatever you felt it's very easy, now you feel that now I forgot this, let me sit on it. It's a never ending story, and it has to be in such a way that as you move forward, your existing system process, your existing configuration, your existing understanding should help you move further in a confident way. Otherwise it will not work. When I say it will not work, things will be difficult. Make sure any effort that you are putting in right from the beginning, if you put it in a proper way, as you move forward, things will become simplified. Otherwise, initially everything looks very simple. Oh, SAP FICO is very simple, very good. I think I can easily become a consultant in 3 months. I will sit Every day, 8 hours, I will spend full 24 hours in a day. I will take 1 week leave, 1 month leave. I will resign my job. People will think different things. Nothing will work. No need to resign your job. No need to sit 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. Nothing will work. Because you have to be very practical. Only then you will get into SAP FICO consulting, else you cannot. It's not about putting your effort. It's not about you are spending 24 hours a day. It's not about you are taking 1 week leave. It's not about day and night you are sitting on SAP. Nothing will work. That way you will forget whatever you know also. Because you need to understand, it is not about doing the configuration. It is all about understanding the business process, understanding the system functionality, and understanding how this will work in a project and how you will deal with in your project. Connecting, understanding, ensuring that you are confident on it will take a little time, not an overnight activity. And for anybody who is learning SAP FICO, who wants to learn SAP FICO, first 1 month you will not understand anything in SAP FICO. No matter what, you will not understand anything. I'm not talking about configuration, I'm talking about SAP FICO. I'm not mentioning SAP FICO configuration. I'm talking about SAP FICO. When you talk to somebody, when you go for SAP FICO consulting a job, do you tell I am good at SAP FICO configuration? Or do you tell I have experience in SAP FICO configuration? Or do you tell I can work on SAP FICO, I know SAP FICO? You tell only FICO or you tell FICO configuration? What do you tell?
SAP FICO.
FICO.
SAP FICO, nobody will tell configuration, nobody will ask, do you know configuration? Because everybody is aware, if you Google SAP FICO configuration, crystal clear documents you will get 300 page, 500 page, 200 page, 10 page, 20 page and all. Yes, no? Right? If you're
Yes.
not understanding a config, if you're not remembering a config, you will get so many one-pager documents in social media, that all the different kind of a cheat sheet, all different kind of one-pager PPT presentations with T codes and all. Take a printout of it in your office, in front of your desk, stick on it. And in front of your desk, you will have a cushion, right, where you can stick pins. Yes, no? Stick that. Put a wallpaper on your desktop. All the T codes. Let's say tomorrow, let's say you're working in a project where it is all related to fixed asset. Now open an Excel sheet. Okay, write down all the T codes configuration related to asset accounting. Save it as, take a screenshot, save it. Now you can make that screenshot as a wallpaper. Yes, no? On your desktop.
Yes.
Put it as wallpaper. Put it as a screensaver. You have different ways. Don't do it things in such a way where you have to put unnecessary effort. This is not your academic to sit, write, read, write by heart. Nothing is required. Put your smart work, different things, wherever you need to apply your mind, wherever you need to prove yourself. At that moment only you put your effort. Remaining, don't do anything. You don't need to put any effort. Everything will come automatically like a shadow. When you follow the concept clearly, everything follows you like a shadow. You don't even need to look back, see whether my shadow is following me or not. Sometimes you will see, sometimes you will not see, depending on the situation. Depending on the situation, sometimes you will see your shadow. Sometimes you will not see your shadow, but it is always with you. Am I right? When you have the requirement clear, when you have the concept clear, everything is automatically following you. You don't need to look back. Else, for everything you need to look back, for everything you need to write, you will end up writing a lot of notebooks. You will end up maintaining so many 200.
Hello.
Am I only the one not receiving the audio?
No,
No,
even me.
me.
Yeah,
Please
sir.
repeat
Your voice is not
Not,
audible.
not.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Please repeat the.
Maybe click from Ajay in only. Let's go.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
We can hear
Can
you
hear
now.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
now.
sorry.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes,
All
we
right.
can hear you.
I think there is a power fluctuation. Yeah. Where you lost my
Okay.
voice?
We don't need to write all those things. If you follow
Yeah,
the
yeah.
system,
We
it
are somewhere
automatically connected.
smart work. We are
Yeah.
somewhere in smart work. Yeah.
All right. So when you're working in any project, when you're working in any organization, you don't need to remember all the T codes. Nothing is required. Whatever you want, write down in the Excel sheet according to your understanding. Make it as a wallpaper in your system. Take that as a printout, stick in front of your desk. Everybody will have a cushion on your desk. Yes, no? Where you can put pins, important notes, all this kind of a thing. Put that. Make a wallpaper on your desktop, screensaver on your desktop. Different things you can do it. Okay, if you start remembering everything, it is a never ending story. Put smart work in such a way wherever your efforts are seen, there you need to ensure the people are recognizing, realizing your potential, your capability. If you remember all the T codes, all the configuration, nobody will appreciate you. And instead they will tell you refer this material, it has got more simplified configuration steps. Because config step, even if you tell, instead of appreciating, they will tell, please tell me which website you referred for this. Then is that an appreciation? No, right? When you talk, you'll have to ensure that the other person is realizing your subject, other person is realizing your capability. All right. And similarly, don't focus on gathering all the documentation, keeping it on your system, pen drive, mobile, all this kind of thing. Many people will tell, I have all the documents related to FICO. I have 20 GB material, I have 10 GB material, 5 GB material. I have all recorded sessions and all. For what? When there is a requirement, when you're stuck in some situation, is it practically possible for you to go refer all this content? Is that practically possible?
no,
Let's say you have so many materials. Can you really go and open the material, find out, okay, what is this point? Do you really
Never,
think you will have that much time?
never, sir. We never open, but we'll keep all the database.
It's only kind of, a showcase that you're showing somebody that, see how many materials I have, see how many stuff I have, how much collection I have, for what? Nobody will give you any Limca record, any Guinness record for it. For what you are wasting? It's unnecessarily consuming your memory in your system or memory in your mobile. Don't do it. Whatever the key points are there, only those key points put in your mind. When the situation comes, you will automatically remember everything. You don't need to remember everything, just the key points. When you touch those key points, automatically everything will come up. In that way, you'll have to understand the subject. In that way, you'll have to focus on the system so that wherever you are, there is no point of fear. You will talk confidently, you will work confidently in any project, no matter where you are in the entire world. Otherwise, for every project, for everything, you have to again sit and refer. How long this will continue? You wanted to continue SAP FICO training for lifetime as long as you work until you take retirement? No,
No.
right? We are all aware it's a 3 to 4 month training, and this 3 to 4 months should ensure you are in a position to carry forward for years. Any situation that is coming, any project that you are getting allocated, with this knowledge, with this training, with this logic, you need to ensure you are self dependent to manage your work as independently. It is of no use after completing the training, still you are depending on Google, still you are depending on YouTube, still you are depending on different things, still you are not able to do on your own. Your training is of no use, right? Am I correct? When you're trying to understand the process, when you're trying to get the requirement, automatically everything will happen. Okay. And here we are talking about FICO. It's not ready to use application, meaning SAP itself is not ready to use application, no matter what you talk. It has to be customized. When we are talking about customization, it is customization according to the customer requirement, client requirement. Am I correct?
Yes.
Customization according to client requirement, customization according to customer requirement. Now, nothing is a straight fit. When I say nothing is a straight fit, if you buy SAP, I cannot start using it from day one. I have to customize it. And to do this customization, I need to understand basic business process fundamentals. When we're talking about basic business process fundamental, and if you look at it, if you look at from financial accounting perspective, first one is what? General ledger. We need to understand what is general ledger, what is there inside the general ledger. If I open the general ledger, let's see what is there inside this. Let me open accounting, financial accounting, and here what is the first one? General ledger. If you open the general ledger, you listed after configuration master data. Do you find master data here?
Yes. Master records.
Right? Master record is nothing but master data. And then we are talking about a transaction data, documents, document entry. Is it your transaction data?
Yes.
Transaction posting. And then we were talking about report. All reports are part of your information system. In your SAP EC Access, you're able to see master transaction report. This is what you can see. Master transaction report. Similarly, if I go to accounts receivable, same thing. Master transaction and then reporting. Am I right?
Yeah.
If I go to accounts payable, same thing. Master transaction reporting.
Yes.
Now, if I go to banking, same thing. Master,
Transaction.
you have different transactions and then you have different reports. Information system is nothing but reporting. If I go to fixed asset, same thing. This is your master creating asset and all. This is your posting transaction. This is your information reporting. It is the same everywhere in any module that you take. GL, AP, AR, cash, bank and all. Agree?
Yeah.
All these are working based on configuration. All these are working based on configuration. If you go to configuration, financial accounting, you have different things. For GL to work, GL setup, APAR setup, banking setup, and then asset setup. How I will set up this? Now, SAP, is this the application exclusively created for your client, or it is an application created for everybody in this world?
Everybody in this world.
This is created for everybody in this world. Just take a simple example that you are going to any place, or you're going to any place to take admission anywhere. You're going to a college, you're going to a school, you're going to anywhere, wherein you need to fill the application, yes or no?
Yes.
Application contains so many fields. Application contains so many fields, but there are many fields. Approximately 30-40% of the data is not relevant to you. Am I right?
Yes.
Whatever is not relevant to you, do you strike off, do you erase, do you put, do you take a screenshot, remove all the unwanted things, put only the fields that is relevant to you? Or whatever is not relevant to you, you will just ignore it.
Ignore.
Whatever is not relevant, just ignore it. Don't look at it, don't touch that. If it is applicable, touch that. If it is not, ignore it. And you're in a position to easily identify what is applicable to you, what is not applicable to you, yes or no? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's say I'm in a bank, you're also in a bank. I'm in a bank, you're also in a bank. Assuming that I'm not literate, I'm an illiterate, I do not know how to write and all. And you came to the bank like you're well professional and all. Now I wanted to withdraw some money from my bank account. or I wanted to deposit some money in my bank account. Usually what I will do, I will ask you, can you please help me write this application? Yes or no? This
Yes.
withdrawal form, deposit form. When I ask, you're writing my application. Is it your choice, whatever you write, or you need to ask me and then write?
Ask
I
me
need
and
to
write.
ask you on drive.
You'll have to ask me. You'll have to ask, what's your name? Okay, I will tell my name. When I tell my name, you will not blindly look at it. You will ask me, give me your passbook. By looking at the passbook, you will write, okay, Ajay Kumar. And then you will ask how much money you want to withdraw. Let's say my requirement is only 3,000 rupees. Okay. You cannot suggest, you take, why 3,000 rupees every month you withdraw 30,000 at a time. You cannot make certain suggestions, right? It is my account. And if I say I have only 5,000 rupees, you cannot suggest me to withdraw 30,000. Why 3,000? You keep for one more month, you will get 6% interest. You are a senior citizen, all this kind of thing. Can you suggest this kind of a thing?
No.
No, right? Because you're only giving me a service, you're only facilitating some services to me. That's it. Meaning, whatever is my requirement, I will tell my requirement and then you need to fill it up. In short, I will tell that, please, I need to withdraw 3,000 rupees. Can you please help me fill the form? I will give my passbook. I will give a deposit slip or withdrawal slip. Most of the things based on my single line requirement, you're able to understand or not?
Yes.
You will not ask me for every field, right? Will you ask me what date you wanted to withdraw? Or it is self-understood? You'll understand yourself, right? Okay, I'm withdrawing it today. I should put today's date only. Amount in words. Tell me the spelling of 3,000 rupees. Do you ask me? No, right? When you do everything, you have to sign the form or I have to sign the form? After filling up that withdrawal form, your sign is valid or my sign is valid?
Your sign
Your
is
side.
valid.
My sign is valid. Even though you're writing everything, if I am not signing it properly, if I don't sign it, it is of useless. It is of no use. Am I correct? Yes, no?
Yes, yes.
Similarly, when you're working in any project, even though you're doing everything as a user, if I don't sign off, anybody heard a terminology called a sign off? Approval, sign off,
Yeah, we heard.
right? If your client is not giving sign off, if your user is not giving sign off, whatever work you did will not be accepted. Meaning, when you're doing something, you need to ensure your client, your user will accept it. They will tell, yes, this is what we wanted. And definitely in one go, nothing will be completed. Everything will have multiple attempts. That's how the process. Your user is not so smart so that they will tell everything in one go. We as a consultant are also not so smart. In one go, we will understand. Either of the side, there is a problem every time. Yes, no. Either your user is not in a position to explain complete requirement in one go, or as a consultant, we are not in a position to understand complete requirement in one go. It's very rare, very, very rare. So most of the time, it will not be completed in one sitting, in one meeting, in one requirement. It takes time. When we say it takes time, it will take time. Now, when you're learning SAP FICO, what is the duration that you are spending for learning SAP FICO on an average?
3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months. Let's take 4 months. How many hours you are doing in a day? You're training?
1.5 hours.
1.5 hour. 1.5 hour a day. Within 4 months, you are able to complete FICO, right? Full training. But in a
Yes.
project, how many months each project will take? 8 hours a day?
Yeah.
Minimum 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, 2 year, yes or no? If your full
Yes,
training is completed in 4 months by spending 1.5 hour a day, by spending 8 hours a day dedicatedly in the office, why we are still taking 6 months, 9 months, 1 year to complete a project? Meaning there is something. It is not only the
Yes,
config, it is not straightforward. These points we'll have to understand, we'll have to realize practically. Then only when you move forward, you will be able to connect it to the points. Otherwise, we will assume that, okay, config is there, T code is there, screenshot is there, I'll manage. There's nothing to manage. You cannot do anything. All you can do is config, but you will not understand what you did. It is kind of a trial and error. When you do a trial and error, sometimes it will work, but you never know what we did so that it worked. That is more important when you're solving a problem. You need to understand what was the problem, because you're answerable to the client, you're answerable to the project team, your project manager. Why this issue came, what you did, why this did not come previously, why all of a sudden this is coming. You'll have to explain the process, problem, solution, how you will ensure this will not repeat again. Am I right? For all these things to happen, we need to ensure you have sufficient understanding on the subject. Only then things will work. Otherwise, things will not work when you join a project. That's where you will see things are becoming tough, things are becoming complicated, because this is not what we've understood when you're learning. This is not what we've thought about while practicing. We simply practiced configuration or XYZ things without applying our own example. Apply your own example at the end, your understanding matters. No matter what I'm talking, how you're understanding, how you're in a position to talk to the other person, that is the key point. And when you're able to talk the business process, when you're able to explain it clearly, when you're able to understand what you're doing, it is more easy for you to explain to your interviewer or to your project team member or to your client. Because everywhere, everybody is asking experienced candidate. Am I correct?
yes.
Everywhere, everybody is asking experienced candidate. They want your experience or somebody else's experience.
My experience.
They want your experience. Then when you talk, it should be like your experience. You're talking from your experience, not from your training. Huge difference is there, right? When something happened, if you're telling that, okay, this happened, but the way you're talking is revealing that this is not your own word. Somebody told us something and then you're converting it to me. Am I right? When somebody is talking, you can easily identify or not. At some point, you will get caught that you did not work on it, and you need to ensure your experience is understood while you're talking. And for that, no other go. You need to get the practical exposure while practicing. You need to think things in such a way how they will happen in a project. Then when you talk, even though you are not up to the mark, but yes, you will talk in a right manner. The other person will recognize that this candidate knows how system works, how a consultant works in a project. And that is what people want in the market. That is what you should get yourself equipped with. Else what will happen when you go to the market, you sound different. Okay, you are also same, others are also same. Why I will give you the offer? Let me give offer to somebody else. Don't ensure that you can be easily replaceable by anybody. If that is the case, there's no difference, right? When you go for any interview, in general, what will happen to any interview for any position? If I am taking interview, I need one SAP FICO consultant. Do you really think I will interview 50 people, 100 members?
Not
No,
50,
sir.
at least 10 people.
Right? I'll not take hardly 10 members, 5 members. Right? Let's take 10 members. Then your competition is only with 10 people. And within
Yes.
this 10 people, you are all aware what kind of a people will come to the interview. Most of the people may be like trendy candidates. Only if you are your experienced candidate. And if you are talking business process, if you're trying to explain things in a better manner, chances are very high that you will get selected. Yes, no?
Yes.
Because you're not depending on your luck by talking the config. Early morning you get up, pray to God, and then go to interview, all this kind of thing. After interview, then you're closing your eyes, crossing your fingers, Then the other person will come. You can leave for the day. We will get back to you. Nobody will get back to you. Because with your knowledge, with your understanding, you should be in a position to decide, yes, I will get selected, I will not get selected. After writing exam, we all know, right, whether you will pass or you will not pass. Yes, no?
Yes,
Because
yes.
it is you who wrote the exam. You will not pray to God that please make me pass. Don't be under that category. Think that there is no doubt that I will pass. There is no doubt that I will pass. In the exam, what you will do, whether I will get 60%, 80%, or 90%. Here, have a clarity, have a confidence that yes, I will definitely get selected. But let me think if I should join this company or not. Don't think from the other perspective whether they will select me or not select me. You decide, I'm sure I'll get this offer. Should I join or not? You think in that way. Have confidence in that level wherein you are sure that whatever the questions that they're asking in the interview are openly available in the market. I'm not sure how many of you know this. Any SAP FICO interview is open question book. All the questions are openly available in the Google, in the YouTube, yes or no? Full question paper
Most
is
of them.
always leaked. Full question paper is leaked. All the topics, whatever they ask, everything is leaked. Even after leaking the question paper, still we are failing. It means it is something wrong with us only. Am I correct? Even after knowing that these are the questions, these are the topics that they will ask in the interview, and even after knowing this, even after getting it trained, still we are not able to clear the interview, then definitely there is a problem or not?
Yes.
You know what questions they're asking, you know what topics are important for interview. We would have collected different questions from people who are attending interviews. Exact question, let's say, today I attended an interview in Deloitte. Then I will share, okay, see, I attended a Deloitte interview. These are the 10 questions. Tomorrow I will attend Infosys. I will again share. Now you have got Deloitte questions, you have Infosys questions, every company question. Still we are not able to clear the interview. Then definitely there is a problem or not. Something is wrong, right? Even after knowing everything, having everything, still we are not able to clear interview. Still we are not able to feel confident means something we are missing. Those missing points is what you'll have to add. That's it. When you add those missing point, automatically you will feel the difference. And that will practically make the difference when you're in the market. You will literally feel the difference. When you talk to your friend, when you talk to your interviewer, your client, your project team, anybody, you will feel the difference. You will see the respect. It is all coming just because of your subject. And that one time effort, if you put properly, you don't need to look back. One time if you put this effort properly, you do not need to look back. Else what will happen? Every stage you will find something where you feel that I am stuck here. And remember, when you are working in project, things are different. When you're practicing, things are different. Simple example, if I am practicing SAP FICO now on any topic, whatever error that I will get, if I go to Google, if I go to YouTube, all the errors that I get, I will find solution in YouTube or in Google. Am I correct?
Yes, we can find.
When you're practicing FICO, any error that you get, you will find why that error is coming, how to solve that problem. In Google, you will get it. In YouTube also, you will get it. But when you're in a project, any error that you get, any doubt that you get, any issue that you're facing, any information that you're looking, majoritarily you will not find it in YouTube. Majoritarily you will not find it in Google also. Is this correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Because there is a huge difference. And when you understand these points, when you start learning in such a way where when you're in a project, when things are becoming complicated, you are in a position to handle it. That's the point of your learning SAP FICO, not whatever you will get it freely for Google, YouTube. Do it for free of cost only. Don't learn for investing money. Don't invest your money to get content that you get for free of cost. Get it for free of cost only. When you're paying money, make sure Your money, whatever you're paying, is giving you whatever the skill that you need to get. Consulting skill is something that you cannot write on paper. It's all spontaneously based on the requirement, based on the scenario you need to act. Am I right?
Yes.
When you talk to a client, when you talk to a user, you need to understand how to talk to them, how to convince them, how to deal with them. When different errors are coming, when you're practicing, you will get irritated, you will close the laptop, you will go out, you will sleep. But can you do the same thing in the project?
No.
Right? And here, nothing will work. No Google, no YouTube, nobody will help. Even if you ask your senior, they tell Google it. Everybody will tell Google it. Because not necessary everybody should know everything in SAP. There's nobody who knows everything in SAP. I also do not know everything in SAP. But when the situation comes, when scenario comes, based on the requirement, we must be in a position to explore and then find out a solution. How you're in a position to do it on your own is what your consulting skill set. Because you will get so many errors, you will get so many requirements. Depending on the requirement, depending on the error, depending on the scenario, you'll have to act. For all these things, you cannot practice, you cannot by heart, you cannot remember. All you need to do is get the logic, get the concept. With this logic, with the concept, you can do anything in SAP FICO. At least you can manage successfully. Once these points are clear, you will ensure that yes, now I think I'm in a position to understand what I need to get from this FICO. And when you go to the market, you should know what is the expectation. If you are preparing yourself to meet the expectation of a company or of a project, you will meet their requirement. Because nobody is expecting somebody who can do a magic miracle in SAP, right? You will see people with so many years of experience also will struggle because it is like that. FICO itself is like that. Though you have 10-year experience, 20-year experience, still certain things, certain requirement are new to you. You have to learn. It's like a continuous learning. Depending on the scenario, depending on the requirement, we have to ensure we are understanding, we are learning. For that, you should have an approach. Not in a position that for everything I will join a training institute, I will find a trainer. Nothing like that. Only initially you will find. And after that, based on your experience, based on your knowledge, based on your effort, you will gain more and more knowledge. It's all self-effort. Only initially you will have the guidance. Later on, you need to ensure you're not depending on anybody. You're self-dependent to work on your own issues. Clear it? I hope you're able to follow, right, what we're discussing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we will stop here for now, and then the remaining points I'll make you understand it tomorrow. Tomorrow, what we will do is I will make you understand what are all these configurations, what is this landscape, how exactly we do the config, and what are these points like GL, AP, AR, what are all this? We will try to understand from tomorrow onward, so that though you are learning different points, but every point should be meaningful when you're listening, or every point should be valid when you sit and then revise it, so that it will be easy for you to connect the points. Because later on, when you continue to join these trainings and whatever we discussed here, we'll have the connecting explanation in the regular sessions. It's not that whatever we are discussing now is only to attract you in the demo. It is not like that. Once we start our regular sessions, whatever we are talking now, we will elaborate more. We will take more practical into each point. Because though we call it as a demo session, overview session, and these are all equivalent to your regular sessions. Once we start, we will connect every point to different practical example, and then we will connect. Okay. All right, fine then. The remaining points we will discuss in the tomorrow's
Ajay?
session. Bye.
Ajay?